What can I say about Sonic 06 that hasn't been repeated to death by everyone else? Not much, but the music is dope. I was a little iffy on the theme at first, but you know, it's head nod and shit. The rest of the game, though, is slightly a broken mess in pretty much every way, constantly. And while the game does inject these weird moments of awesome every once in a while you're just running and not hitting stuff, the game will then immediately go out of its way to ruin that, and I fucking hate this stage. So if anyone was expecting me to go all apologist on this title, not today, sir and or madam. There will be plenty of time in the future, though, when I explain why Final Fantasy X-2 is actually quite good. But anyways, Sonic 06 was messed up to the point where I couldn't help but start wondering why. Why are there 4 million loading screens? Is that necessary? Why am I running up this wall? That probably shouldn't happen. And most important, why is Sega promoting unhealthy, oddly proportionate relationships between these two things? The sad thing is, when looking into the development of this game, it showed so much potential, or at least a hell of a lot more than you might think it had in its current state. And it could have been such an amazing game, or at the very least good. And so today on Gaming Mysteries, I'll be talking about the beta of Sonic 06. Now, development of Sonic 06 began after the completion of Shadow the Hedgehog, which explains why someone thought that throwing vehicles into the game for Shadow was a cool, fantastic idea, which it wasn't. Sonic 06 was meant to be a rebirth of the series, hence why it was just called Sonic the Hedgehog. The game was to take popular elements from the adventure titles, but most of all, bring Sonic back to his roots, and also make it more realistic, because this is realism. Though rather than keeping things more simple, like with the roots, not the newer roots, the older roots, which are actually simple, the newer roots got less simple, they wanted to make the ultimate Sonic experience, which I'm sure worked out just fine. The game was first displayed to the peoples at E3 2005, with a video being shown behind closed doors. This demonstration, said one you're seeing on screen right now, was what the team ultimately wanted to accomplish with the game. And while it shows no gameplay, it does look damn impressive, displaying a nice sense of speed and movement on Sonic's part. But most important of all, is Sonic transforming into Super Sonic at the end of the trailer, in a very badass fashion, I will add. Now, does this mean that you were originally going to be able to transform into Super Sonic whenever you wanted to by using a rainbow gem, but that was removed from the game, but the animation is still there for some reason? Yes, it does. Now, of course, since this trailer was shown off behind closed doors and wasn't meant to be seen by the public, it was quickly leaked onto the internet, because fuck your privacy. And now the speculation began to fly as the hype began to mount, and people wanted to see the game in action. And so it was so. I may have written that wrong. But either way, later that same year, the game was shown off in a playable state at TGS in the form of this tech demo, that, while not a full stage, was meant to show off the various new technologies that the game held, such as this neat day-night cycle that the game was going to have. That was ultimately scrapped because of time constraints, I would assume. And it's a shame that they ditched that day-night thing, as, even though I can't think of any reasonable use for it, it looked kind of pretty, so it had that going for it. Aside from that, you will immediately notice that the demo is taking place in a very early version of Kingdom Valley, and Sonic has the slowest homing attack ever. My assumption as to why it's so slow is to show off the physics of Sonic's attacks as he knocks an enemy through a wall. Or it was just because the game was early in development and it slowed down when enemies were on screen. It's probably that second one, actually. When by himself, though, Sonic moved at a pretty good, smooth speed. So at this point, so far, so good. The next look we got of this highly awaited Ultimate Sonic game in video form is at E3 2006 with both a trailer, which looks badass because placing the solo part from the theme of Sonic 06 with gameplay of Sonic 06 just kind of makes it look good. We also get another gameplay demo in Kingdom Valley, again, everybody's favorite stage apparently. In this version, though, Sonic was sped up considerably, and he also features a few other differences, such as his homing attack being very fast and looking like it had no recovery in between attacks, which is awesome. That means you could just keep attacking over and over again, no delay, you get the thing. I believe this is also the demo where they sped up Sonic to double of what his speed was in the final game, which would explain why he was moving more speedy. So he's faster than normal, which is false advertising, and nothing sells games quite like false advertising. Though, the portion of the demo in which the person playing it dies like 4 or 5 times in a row is a great representation of the final product, so good on them. Something interesting to note is that towards the end of the demo, they mentioned that they originally had ideas for online multiplayer. Something that didn't, to my knowledge anyways, make it into the final product. And what a shame it is that no one will be able to share this experience with someone else over the interwebs. Oh well, we'll get by somehow. Either way, the game was showing promise, and all was good. Or at least it seemed that way, but behind the scenes, things went all bad, as not long after the first event that the game was being shown at, the executive producer of the title, Yuji Naka, announced his resignation from Sega. Which wasn't good for the game, because he was kind of important, you guys. And without this central player, pressure was then placed on the shoulders of the game's director, Shun Nakamura, to release what Sega hoped would be a stellar title in the Sonic franchise, and something that could help relaunch their brand for the new consoles. It's nice to dream, isn't it? And this is where things get ugly. See, it's already bad that they lost the executive producer, something that would set any team back at least a little bit. But to make matters worse, they had a deadline to make. And I've seen some people saying over the years that it was Microsoft that pressured Sega into getting the game out quickly for their new consoles, but evidently, that was Sega's call, as they felt it was very important to hit a Christmas 2006 deadline. So much so that they didn't care about the repercussions of this. And the deadline wasn't the only issue the team ran into, as they also had problems just developing for the new consoles at the same time, especially with the immense pressure that was being put on them to make this fucking AAA title that's supposed to single-handedly rejuvenate the Sonic franchise. But hey guys, no pressure! So what resulted were a lot of cut features, and even a cancelled version of the game. The day-night cycle that was shown off earlier in the game's development is no longer present. The game would no longer let you transform into Super Sonic whenever you wanted to, or at all, except during that one cutscene I'm not going to show, just in case, someone goes spoilers on me. I'm not going to deal with that. Hell, at one point there was going to be a version of this game for the Wii, which they ended up scrapping so that they could focus on the next-gen hardware, which was probably for the best if they were having that much trouble with it. And so, the game came out to the response of a giant meh. Granted, some people like the final product, and if you do, good for you. I'm just going to stick with that meh thing, because it speaks true to my heart. Now that pretty much does it, except we're not done yet, because there's also some miscellaneous stuff to go over. So let's go ahead and go over this miscellaneous stuff. To start, we have this concept art of Silver, a character whose original name was Venice, but they changed it because I assume someone thought that Venice the Hedgehog sounded dumb. One picture shows that the spines on his head were originally only to come out when he used telekinesis. This futuristic version of him is also apparent. This wacky headset-wearing Silver is here. And of course we have this version of Silver with these freaky-ass eyes. There's also a number of unused icons that were found, including one for the rainbow gem, but don't ask me to point it out because I'm colorblind and I have no fucking clue. I mean, 3 of these gems look like they're the same color. There's also some unused warp gate images along with unused ending poses for Knuckles. The title contains 2 unused songs, one being an alternate version of the main theme, and the other is an alternate version of Silver's theme. And there's an assload of unused text that shows a bunch of cut stuff from the game's shop. It seems that originally you'd be able to buy all sorts of things, like that rainbow gem, or a speed boost item for Silver, because God knows he needed one, as well as purchasable music from the past games, which includes Sonic R, which makes this extra special. If I had the song, I'd play it, but I blocked that out of my mind years ago, so fuck that. What's more interesting is that in a list of unused main menu text, you'll find multiple references to Metal Sonic, a character whom was originally going to not only be in the game, but apparently also be somewhat important to its plot. How much so is hard to say, and considering he got cut, maybe he wasn't that important after all. But I want him. But that's the beta of Sonic 06. It truly is a shame that the game got rushed simply because Sega wanted to hit a holiday deadline. An important part of the year, to be sure. However, you're attempting to relaunch your most popular series to both old and new fans, and want it to be the best goddamn thing out there. But you didn't give your development team enough time to work on it. A project like this, an anniversary project no less, should have been handled with a lot more care. So instead of me looking back at Sonic 06 as that game that I don't want to play again because I fucking hate it, but I need footage, so I'm out of luck, it would instead be a game that I could look back on and say, hey, I don't want to play this game. Not because it's bad, it's just because I don't feel like playing it. Granted, even with the extra time, I'm positive that the final product would still be janky as fuck, just like every other 3D Sonic game, because it's kind of a tradition. I mean, they're all busted in their own special ways. But that can be endearing sometimes. Like, oh, I fell to the floor again, as per Sonic game tradition, yay! But Sonic 06 is off in its own little fucking camp of not fun, broken, along with this never-ending sense of what it could have been. And that's depressing, because it could have been awesome. But this has been Gaming Mysteries, and thanks for watching. Howdy y'all, Yuriofwind here, and welcome back to a southern edition of Endslate. It was only going to be southern for the first second though, so we're good. It's been 2 weeks. Yeah, I know. It's been an interesting couple of weeks. I'm not handling the going off of antidepressants thing well, so excuse me for being sporadic in the way I upload videos. Though at some point I should probably take a break and like take a nap or something, you know? Not worry about videos for a little bit. Maybe in January, I don't know yet. Hey, but we're doing this Endslate thing. For some of you new viewers, maybe you don't know what Endslate is. I don't know what Endslate is. It's apparent, well, you know, it's that thing you see at the end of everyone's videos, except in my crappy Endslates, I just yammer on uselessly. The video's technically over, by the way. You don't have to keep watching this if you don't want to. But hey, guys, for everyone else who's going to stick around, let me tell you that I'm not drunk. I could be. No, that went bad never mind. I have videos I'd like to recommend. Well, let's do that, huh? Before I embarrass myself even further. Hope you enjoyed the video, by the way. The Gaming Mysteries on the beta of Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 edition. I've wanted to talk about this for a while. So I did. That's how this video came to be. Anyways, what about these other videos? These other videos that probably won't have... These aren't scripted for you new viewers. They probably won't have annotations on them because... and I think it might be fixed to the last video. I've been running into an issue that when I upload a new video, sometimes I don't have the option to set annotations. Instead, I don't set them, and then I forget to. Like, I forgot to on the last video. I should probably go back and set those. So you won't be able to click on anything at first anyways, so, that's a bummer. But, you know, you can look for it, I guess. Or maybe it'll show up in the sidebar. I don't know. I don't know how YouTube works. I don't even know how to comment. I literally can't. I'm just getting 404 messages. Google Plus is great. Anyways. The 2 videos I'd like to recommend that you can't click on. And that I can't link to you in the comment section because that'd be crazy. One of the videos, the last Gaming Mysteries I did on the beta of Pokemon Gold and Silver. Another video I've been looking forward to doing for quite a while. I've had the assets for that video sitting on my computer and on a flash drive because I backed it up since fucking 2009 when I started Gaming Mysteries. It just took me this long because... those early videos sucked, and I didn't want to ruin it. I mean, hell, I only did the beta of the first games last year, because I wanted to wait. But yeah, there's that video. That video got positive response, which made me happy. So, yay! Happy Halloween! And the other video I'd like to recommend is... let's keep it Sonic related. How about we go with Gaming Mysteries on... Sonic the Hedgehog Extreme, a canceled Sonic game for the original Xbox. Why not? Why not? And then the bottom of the screen, Christ. Hi. I'm Yuriofwind. I make videos on a website called YouTube. It's an ever-changing website, and it's oftentimes confusing. If you like, wait. I worded that wrong. If you like my videos and you'd like to subscribe, you're free to do so, and if you don't want to, you don't have to. And if you like this video, of course, I'd appreciate a like, because that's how... I don't understand how liking works, actually. I think it makes videos more popular, but really, I don't know. But if you want to do that, you know, that's appreciated. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But if you want to, that's cool. You know, you know, bro fist or whatever. But, you know, again, it's up to you. Does that cover everything? I haven't done an Endslate in so long, I'm so rusty. Next time on Endslate, I don't fucking know. But I'll see you guys next time on Endslate. Also, as a side note, something I noticed the other day, before we end the Endslate, I noticed I'm almost at 200,000 subscribers. I don't actually think I'll hit the number. I think YouTube's just gonna tease me, but it's fucking nuts. So, in case we do hit that number before I upload another video, I would like to preemptively say thanks to everyone who's followed me over the years. I don't know why people like my videos. But I'm happy people do. I'm not going to get all mushy and sentimental during Endslate, because that's not what I do. There will be time for that later, maybe in that Final Fantasy X-2 video. I don't know. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time on whatever video I did. Oh, we just went past 420. Sorry, I'm really tired, by the way. Okay, I gotta go. This is going almost 5 minutes now. These aren't scripted. Bye, guys.